Hi dear friends and subscribers of Cricket Happenings, your host Ram here, doing a brief summary of two one-day internationals. But first, I'm going to take you to that one-day international which probably was history for Zimbabwe, because what Zimbabwe did today is they have opened a new chapter in international cricket, and what a comeback they have made to international cricket. What they have done is today they have beaten Bangladesh by 5 runs today at the Harare Sports Club, and they are 3-0 now in the series. And well, one can only feel sorry for Bangladesh because this was a very close game. In fact, today there was a different ploy adopted by Bangladesh. What they did is they won the toss and put Zimbabwe into bat, because if you have seen the trend, previously Zimbabwe were the ones who were actually chasing and winning it. So today that it was different, but Zimbabwe could do that too, because their batting was very, very consistent, which I'll be talking to you about. So Zimbabwe actually batted first, and they made 250, and then it was the turn of Bangladesh to bat. But Bangladesh, as I said, it was a close match. Mushfiqur Rahim was their hope there. Today he got his maiden 101 of 100 balls, 8 fours and 1 6, a very good knock under the circumstances. But unfortunately, he couldn't take them over the finishing line because he perished on the second ball of the final over with just 5 runs needed, and Zimbabwe winning this match by 5 runs. Just talking about the match here, well, Brendan Taylor continued his poor form, even though his team has been doing very well. The captain himself has been perishing quite early, and today the same thing happened as Shafiul Islam went and had Brendan Taylor caught by Junaid Siddique, who actually played today in place of Mohammad Ashraful, which was a surprise for me because I was thinking that Imrul Case might be out of the team, but today we saw Mohammad Ashraful being dropped and Junaid Siddique coming into the team. But what was very, very important about the Zimbabwe batting is the consistency. Now, they are not dependent on one player. As soon as Brendan Taylor was out with Vusi Sibanda and Masakadze at the crease, Vusi Sibanda, well, he was very aggressive. He cracked 5 fours in his score of 27 of 36 balls before being a victim of Rubal Hussain. And that was the time when 39 for 2 on the board for Zimbabwe. And things looked a bit dicey for them. But well, as I said, what Zimbabwe is showing here is their character, how their batting has been consistent. They are not dependent on one batsman. And today, it was evident, it was seen that Hamilton, Masakadze and Taibu stitched together a partnership of 141 runs, valuable runs, which really took the Zimbabwe total on to 250, with Masakadze starting off a bit sedately and slowly gathering confidence, and in the stand contributed 74 of 100 balls with 4 fours and 2 sixes. But Tatenda Taibu, the other match he made 60, so that showed that he has come into form. And Tatenda Taibu showed what a good runner between the wickets he is. He made Masakadze run for the quick singles, for the twos. Twos were converted into threes. And Taibu is such a busy player. He keeps everything busy, and that's what he did. And today he collected 83 runs of 103 balls with 8 fours. What a knock, and what a partnership this was. From 39 they took it on to 181, but after that there were some very little contributions under the circumstances, with Craig Irvine cracking 18 of 13 balls with 1 4 and 1 6, Chigumbra smashing 2 sixes and 1 4 in his score of 31 of 21 balls, and Zimbabwe made 250 for 7 in their 50 overs. Bowling, nothing really to talk about. Bowling was not good. The fielding, catching was also something a lot to be desired as far as Bangladesh were concerned. Shafiul Islam 1 for 40, 1 for 34 for Nazmul Hussain, who played today. Rubal Hussain 2 for 41. And we had 149 for Mahmudullah, and Shakib Al Hasan 6 overs now made in 246. As far as Bangladesh were concerned, well, today it was a much better approach. They didn't actually give away the wickets to Brian Vettori or Kyle Jarvis, who actually, in fact, I would say Zimbabwe were crippled today because they didn't have their frontline bowler, who was, it was Kyle Jarvis and Brian Vettori who actually bowled today. Well, Kyle Jarvis was there, I'm sorry about that. It was Brian Vettori and Kyle Jarvis, but they couldn't actually give the breakthrough that normally did. Brian Vettori normally used to give the breakthrough, but today he couldn't give the breakthrough, but that didn't really matter. In fact, there was a good opening partnership from Bangladesh for 50 runs, but after that, Tamim Iqbal, after playing 44, it's not a very cracking 44, it was a very, very, very responsible 44 that he played of 62 balls with 2 fours. Imrul Case once again continued his poor form in the series, and Prosper Utsaya, the spinner, came in and picked up 2 quick wickets. First he had Imrul Case LBW for 16, and Junaid Siddique was gone, cotton ball Utsaya for 12, and Bangladesh at that stage was 66 for 2. So 66 for 2, Well, if you look at the score there, it looked like who is going to do the stabilizing job. In fact, Tamim Iqbal perished at the score on 91 when he was a victim of a run out, as he was run out for 44 of 62 balls with 2 fours, and it was left to Mushfiqur Rahim and Shakib Al Hasan. But Shakib Al Hasan, after making 19 runs, gave his wicket away to Prosper Utsaya, who had very good figures today. So that was good to see even the spinners coming to the fore today. 10 overs, 1 made and 47 runs and 3 wickets for Prosper Utsaya. And well, it was Shivagata Hum who actually joined Mushfiqur Rahim. And Mushfiqur Rahim has been promoted in the batting order, as I said, and that is really helping. He really showed why he has been promoted. And today, once Shakib Al Hasan fell at the score at 124, the responsibility was taken by Mushfiqur Rahim and Shivagata Hum, who actually made his debut today. And Mushfiqur Rahim and Shivagata Hum played some very good strokes. They understood the situation and they did a fairly good job. From 124, they actually started giving hope to Bangladesh by pulling on the score to 185 with some good batting there. But well, the Shivagata Hum was run out for 32 of 36 balls. And after that, Mushfiqur Rahim was there, the hope was there, he was still there. Mahmudullah continued to disappoint. He's also another player who has been totally out of form with his bat, and he was out for 14 today. Vittori getting his first wicket today. And unfortunately, the debutant, the Nasir Hussain, who actually playing his second match today, couldn't do anything. He was out for a duck. And Kyle Jarvis removed Shafiul Islam for a duck and Rubel Hussain for a duck by clean bowling them. And well, as I said, finally the match was very close. Mushfiqur Rahim had brought to such a situation to only 5 runs required, but Christopher Pofu actually had Mushfiqur Rahim after he made his maiden 100 today. But let me tell you, it was a superb knock from Mushfiqur Rahim. Unfortunately, he couldn't take them over the finishing line. Mushfiqur Rahim was gone, caught Subanda bowled Pofu. Subanda had long on, caught him off the Pofu. 101 balls, 5 runs required of the last over. Mushfiqur Rahim perishing on the second ball of the 50th over, and that was all over for Bangladesh. Bangladesh had lost this match by 5 runs. And I don't have any time. I have to talk about the other match now. As far as the other match was concerned, it was third ODI, Sri Lanka versus Australia. Well, Sri Lanka today finally kept the series alive by actually winning this match by 78 runs. In fact, it was Sri Lanka who actually batted first after Australia won the toss. And well, Upul Taranga went on to make 111. And let me tell you, he is one of the players who has made 4 centuries in 2011. He is having the highest number of centuries in 2000. And after being out of the Sri Lankan team because of the problem, because he took some, he was out, as you know. And today he was the bulwark of the whole score of 286 for 9 that Sri Lanka raised today. 111 from Upul Taranga of 139 balls, 12 fours, a beautiful knock. Dilshan gave him good support, and so they had a good opening partnership of 139. Dilshan making 59 balls with 4 fours. Sangakkara contributed 49 of 37 balls, 3 fours and 2 sixes. Mahela Jayawardene made 36. And that was it. 286 for 9 on the board. Bowling, well, Dougie Bollinger was absolutely superb today. 10 overs, no made in 442. And as far as Australia were concerned, well, Australia couldn't really, they couldn't really withstand the bowling of Blessed Malinga, who had figures of 8.2 overs, 2 maidens, 28 runs and 5 wickets, and they were all out for 108, thus giving Sri Lanka a victory by 78 runs. Now, as far as Australia were concerned, there was not much to really talk about. In fact, today there was one guy by the name Shaminda Eranga, who is a pace bowler who actually made his debut, and he picked up 2 quick wickets. In fact, he first had Brad Haddin, who he breached Brad Haddin's defences, and he was gone for 5. And Ricky Ponting was out to a slower delivery from Eranga as he cotton bowled him for 22. And other than that, Michael Hussey tried to keep the hopes alive with Michael Clarke, putting in a good partnership. But the partnership could go on only as far as 123 were concerned, where Michael Clarke was out to Malinga for 46 of 67 balls. Michael Hussey contributed a good 63 in a losing cause of 76 balls with 5 fours. Other than that, Stephen Smith was run out, and David Hussey was bowled by Ajanta Mendes, and Brett Lee remained not out on 14, and that was it for Australia. Australia 208 out, Malinga coming in and just crashing those Yorkers into Doherty's and Bollinger stumps. 208 all out, a victory by 78 runs for Sri Lanka, keeping the series alive. 3-1 now. Australia still lead the series 3-1, but at least Sri Lanka kept the series alive. Bowling figures, Malinga, as I told you, was the hero today, and Upul Taranga was the man of the match for his century, but Malinga was the hero. 8.2 overs, 2 maidens, 28 runs, 5 wickets. Kulashekara 10 overs, 1 maiden, 150. 7 overs, 238 for Shamida Eranga on his debut. And Dilshan 10 overs, none for 39, bowled well. 8 overs, 1 for 38 for Ajanta Mendes. Well, I can only tell you one thing, cricket fans. Sri Lanka definitely kept it alive. And this is the first time that the Australian batting, we could see the whole Australian batting lineup, because in the previous two matches, we could never see the whole Australian batting lineup because they had very convincing victories by 2 wickets and 3 wickets respectively. But today they lost this match. The whole batting lineup was in front, but Lasith Malinga was absolutely deadly. That's it from me, your host Ram, for the Cricket Happening show. For now, see you all tomorrow. Thank you.